live broadcast here of what's going on with shipping. I just want to take a minute and I'm going to put this up on the YouTube page. I just want to thank everybody. We hit 20,000 subscribers, and I have to say, I am absolutely floored. I was joking 2 weeks ago that I was hoping to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. I was at 7,000 somewhat. And then all of a sudden, it is just taking off. So I am both humbled and appreciate everybody who has subscribed to this channel, who has taken the time to share the information to everyone. Good morning, Alan. How you doing? I'm doing this live, so I'm doing this as we go along. I just want to send this quick message out, and how much I do appreciate everybody who takes the time to follow me on what's going on with shipping. It means a lot. I'm not going to lie; it's been a great ride. I was trying to do this once ever given when ashore in the Suez and follow up because I felt like there wasn't enough information getting out. I was doing interviews, doing a lot of hits with a lot of news media, talking to them, but continually felt like the information wasn't being expanded enough. And so one of the things I aim to do, and I got to say, got a second wind in my sail here. I'm going to keep this up. One of the things I really want to do is take some stories, break them down a little bit more, and give you all the option to do it. I know I could be long-winded at time. I apologize. That last video on dragging the anchor 40 minutes, that was a bit long. I apologize. The professor in me comes out sometimes too much. And so I will endeavor to be concise and to the point. And one of the things I hope to do too is learn a little bit more about the technology and give you all some targeted information you can hit at too. I did put some tabs in there so you can jump right to where you needed to go. So I am just again humbled by it. I got to say, 20,000 subscribers. No, nowhere in my wildest dreams that I think this was done. I started this YouTube channel way back in 2011 just to put some videos up that some historical conferences I was going to, and just put some you know talk out there. And I got to say, in the past couple of weeks here, it's been insane. I just did a fireside chat with Freight Waves. They had leading members of the industry in there. Gene Soroka, the head of the Port of LA, was the keynote. They had all these people, and some reason they asked me. I don't know why, but they did. And so I had an opportunity to do it. So it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Again, I am humbled. I am a man of too many words, but right now I find myself without them. So I just want to post this and thank everybody for subscribing. I appreciate everyone out there in the YouTube community who has shared my work with others. It's been great. One of the things I keep seeing is me being mentioned in other ones, and I always try to catch whoever's saying something about me and plug them on my YouTube channel too. I think it's a great source of information. It is so good that we're able to get information directly into the hands of people out there. Had a video a couple of weeks ago, had over 200,000 hits. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And especially right now where people don't understand global shipping. One of the things that I say this again to everybody in the shipping industry, and I get hit by the shipping industry all the time. It's like, why are you doing this? You don't have the expertise in it. It's like, well, you're not saying anything. You are not conveying to the general populace information about shipping. And so one of the things I always like to do, I'm seeing a whole bunch of text coming in here, so I apologize and everything. So I just want to say hello to everybody who's coming in. I appreciate it. This is kind of spur of the moment here. I was going to do a recording and put it up, but I figured I'd just do it live real quick and put it up here. But the maritime industry is terrible about communicating. They're terrible at talking about themselves. They shy away from the media. They shy away from the press. And one of the things that I have an advantage of is having been a merchant mariner, knowing people in the industry, knowing a lot of contacts who will talk to me. And again, as a tenured professor, I don't have to worry about getting fired. So I can say, what's going on. And listen, let me be clear. I may be right and wrong at times. And that's history. One of the things I always talk about with history is you have to be willing to go out there and state an opinion and have facts to back it up. But a fact, a piece of evidence may come out. The issue about the anchor and the pipeline, it may come out that it's something different than what we think. It may not be the Rotterdam Express, maybe a different ship. We don't know. But no one is saying anything, and I'm going to sit there and say it. I have views, and I will give you the facts. I will give you the evidence. I think one of the things I try to do all the time is use my historical basis and give you facts so that you can go back and research it, and you may question those sources, and that's great to do. You really should. It's a good thing to do. And one of the things I really want everybody to do is if you have issues out there, I think it's really important. And you have questions, I try to answer all the comments, the polite comments. Sometimes I get some interesting comments from some people, but I try to answer them all. I try to be supportive, and again, one of the things I hope to do is expand the channel. So, like for example, tomorrow got a video coming out on Amazon. Amazon just did something amazing. They basically chartered a ship, loaded it with brand new 53-foot containers, and sailed it from China to Houston. I think that's a potential for changing the industry in some ways. I think there's a lot that can be done with this. I think the issue with who's in charge right now over this maritime crisis is a big issue. I got asked to write an op-ed for the for the New York Times, which is crazy. I mean, just I can't tell you how crazy it is. Whether your view in the New York Times is one thing, but to be asked to write op-eds for major publications, I had that during Ever Given. So I will continue to get the information out there and keep doing this. It gives me a lot of energy, and I like doing it. And again, I get more and more people who want to contact me and talk about this. So to all of you, well, 50 of you, man, 50 of you people watching me right now, I appreciate that. Again, I appreciate that. I appreciate 20,000 subscribers. I appreciate 51 people or 53 people watching me right now live. So I can't tell you how much it means to me. And so I will keep up here on this. Real quick, I had a question. Do you have any data on how the food supply chain is affected with the ships containing food stuck in ports? Yeah. One of the big issues is food. Number one, it's kept in reefer containers, so they're refrigerated, so they can actually stay in there a long time. So you don't have an issue with really spoilage in that, and it's really difficult, by the way, to offload those containers unless you have reefers plugs set up on the port. That's a big limitation in the ports. You have to have power on the ship. You have to have power on the ground for it. And the big issue right now that's going on is getting the material into warehouses. Warehouses are just jam packed, and this is why that 24/7 option out of LA and Long Beach doesn't really work, because if the warehouses aren't open 24/7, it doesn't do any good if you're a trucker to tow your chassis and container there and sit outside, wait till the morning, because you're just using up your driving hours. So again, one of the things I think we need to look at in this situation we're in right now is basically a holistic look. There should be someone who's overseeing this entire crisis: ports, shipping, road, rail, and coordinating. And again, I don't think government has the solution to everything. I really don't. There needs to be commercial and private entities that doing it. And one of the things you're seeing is that innovation. Again, that Amazon ship I'm doing the video on right now, I'm working on, it'll be out tomorrow, is really an interesting idea. It's expensive. That's the only issue with it. It's really expensive. But if you can scale it up, I think that's an option we're going to see. The maritime industry is cyclical. I mean, innovations come in, they use them for a long time, and then they got to come up with something new. And the big container companies, it's gonna be interesting to see how they react to this. I don't know how they're going to react to this. They're either going to jump on that bandwagon or they're going to shy away from it. And that may be an issue. We will see what happens here. Uh, see, Mark here. I don't see any urgency in the supply chain when they continue to bill for all their inefficiencies. Storage, demurrage, chassis, all these loads. Everyone gets paid despite that. Man, I'm with you on this, Mark. I did a video on the Federal Maritime Commission and the interview the head of the FMC did with Lloyd's List. Lloyd's is the traditional, kind of the maritime site, which you got to pay money to get on, by the way. And one of the things I have an issue with the Federal Maritime Commission is their charter is to really hit these insane charges that are being added. People are being charged congestion fees. Congestion fees are usually one-time fees. It's like, okay, things are spiking a bit, we're going to charge you a congestion fee. If everything is congested, that's not congestion fee anymore. It's the norm. You can't charge fees for the norm. And that's where people are getting, I apologize, screwed here, is these fees are being done. And again, detention and demurrage, this is being done. I mean, the fact that they're ticketing truckers coming into the port of LA, or charging them late fees for coming in because they missed their appointments, and yet they're being held up. They can't, you're traveling across the Mojave Desert at 65 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. It really is. There needs to be some sanity in how we look at the transportation industry. You guys are getting me on a rant now. I didn't mean to do this. I just wanted to thank you for 20,000 subscribers. Video. Let's see. Any update on the trucking shortage? Man, I would recommend let me be clear on trucking and freight. Watch the guys at Freight Waves. They do a great job on that. They do really. That's our focus on there. Do a really good job in talking about it. And let me tell you, I have a lot of sympathy for truck drivers out there. I really do. I think they are getting absolutely hammered here in many ways. And California, which we depend on for LA and Long Beach, is really coming up with some crazy rules. There's a councilwoman in LA and Long Beach wants to mandate that ships be carbon neutral by 2030. 2030. We're the International Maritime Organization is talking about having carbon emissions by 2050. If they pass a carbon neutral vessel coming into LA Long Beach, number one, you will be carbon neutral because there'll be no ships coming into LA and Long Beach. And then we'll have the exact opposite of what we have today. Not that we can't get cargo off the vessels. There's going to be no ships there because nobody has that technology yet. They're working on it. They're innovating it. But for the idea that technology will be out by 2030, it's 2021. It takes a year and a half, 2 years to build a ship. You have to design it, especially in engine propulsion. Man, that's some crazy stuff right there, I gotta say. Yep, I can do something about forklift drivers, as we're talking. I tell you, there's a very good paying career that made. I agree. I think trucking is a great industry. I think one of the problems we have with trucking is we're putting a lot of regulations, a lot of insurance, a lot of not standardized rules, depending on what state you're in. I think also we've independent truck drivers have been pushed out in many ways. Takes a lot of insurance money out there. It's really an interesting thing. Let's see. I believe Costco is doing the same. Yeah, I think one of the things you're seeing is the big retailers are doing this. Costco, Home Depot, IKEA, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola charted bulk carriers to bring bulk material and sugar in for their products. I think it's really amazing. All right, I didn't mean for this to go on as long as I did. I want a brief little video. I'm going to do a brief little video. This really gives me a lot of encouragement. By the way, I'm thinking about doing a live stream. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I may set that up. I will schedule it and post it out there because I can answer questions here as it goes on. Listen, I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. If I didn't get your question, I apologize. I did not want to turn this into a question and answer for you. Yep. See the mark. Would you consider doing a live Q&A? Yep. I'm thinking about that. I really think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe toward the end of the week or something like that. Do it, kind of answer some questions. I do every Monday. I'm going to do what the ship's going on, which is kind of recapping the past week. I think that's a great way to capture the information and maybe by the end of the week do something about that. So I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the support. Thanks again. Please share the site out there. I'm at 20,000. I'm happy if I'm happy being there. I was happy at 10. I'm not gonna lie. So, but please share it out there. Get it across to everybody, however you do it. And once again, I am humbled and appreciative for everybody. I mean, I'm just sitting here for 12 minutes, and 87 of you are online, and I am a truly thankful person. So it's great. And you guys are much better than my students too. Don't tell my students I'm saying this, but you guys ask questions, you're interactive. It's great. And I have great students. Don't get me wrong. I love my students, but it's always fun to talk about a subject that you have a lot of passion for, a lot of interest in. And that's me, having been a merchant mariner, having been a historian, commenting on policy and security. It's a lot of fun. And so I'll keep plugging along. So thank you, everybody, and have a great, great Thursday. And 20,000 subscribers. I would thank every one of you individually, but we just don't have that time. So thanks. Sal signing off.